That's my daddy. And I don't know how you went from 91 to 89 again.
Well, I was born 19 and 12. Count it up, boys.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you've been, I sent you a birthday card for being 91 years old.
No, a lot of people think that, but I'm going to be 90 my birthday.
Well, that's what you told me how old you was. I didn't add it up.
My daddy got killed 1911 on Christmas Eve Day, and he died on Christmas Day. In July, I was born. I never seen my daddy.
Yeah.
The only one I've ever seen. God's my father.
Yeah.
God's sitting on a royal crown. He's my father. I don't know nothing about a daddy. I never was raised under a daddy. My mother wouldn't marry. She was part Indian. My great-grandma was an Indian.
Tell them how your daddy died.
Man shot him off the wagon coming out of the woods with a load of wood on. Hid behind a big rock out. I could go and show you. And he hid behind that rock. When he went above him, he's put about as high as that smokehouse from a rock up to the road. He shot him with a shotgun. And he died, shot him Christmas Eve, and he died of Christmas Day. And I was born in July. I never seen my daddy come to me one night. I asked my mother about it. He come to me one night standing there in the room in there. He had on a yellow robe.
In this house?
Yeah. Stood down, and I always wanted to see my daddy. I never did see him till he come to me that night, and I ain't wanted to see him no more. I explained him to my mother. She said, that was your daddy. He peered to me last. I looked through the hole of the door, and there he stood with his hands stretched out like that. And I told my mother about it. Says, that's your daddy, son. That was your daddy. Well, I said, thank the Lord I've seen him in a spiritual way. But I never have seen him in a carnal way. But ever since then, I've never wanted to see him no more.
Do you know about the thrash that he can cure on account of that? You want to hear about that? You know what thrash is? Babies get it in their mouth, the little bumps when they're born, and some babies get thrash. Tell them about thrash, Daddy.
Well, I've doctored old people with thrash. I sanctified a woman here one night. One day she come up, was going to have a baby. She said, I want you to pray for me. And I laid my hand on top of her head and asked Jesus to bless her. You ought to see that little baby. It's that big now. Big old fat thing.
But tell them about thrash, Daddy.
Oh, I've doctored people, all kinds of people with thrash.
But tell them why you can do it.
Because I never seen my daddy.
Tell them why that's an old saying.
My mother told me about that. My mother used to console the thrash, but she doctored them different. See, there's an old man come out here one day. I guess he's 75 years old. There's a lot of old women comes out here. Pulled up right there. Said, I heard you cure the thrash. Said, boy, look at my mouth. His mouth is in a solid sore. Oh, Lord have mercy. My mouth may be covered in snuff, but that's all right.
Do you know about this?
And his mouth was in a solid blister. I said, yeah, they say I can. He said, well, I want you to doctor me. I said, open your mouth. I didn't get, now I get too close to him, I catch it myself. And I got close enough to him. And the next day, that old man was eating.
Tell them about the babies.
Oh, little babies, I blow in a lot of little babies' mouth.
All you do is blow in their mouth.
That's all I do. It peels them up. Her girl's baby had the thrash, and I doctored his. Some doctors send them out here to me.
He's for real about this. He can blow in their mouth, and they'll get better.
How'd you find out?
And that man if you're gonna have a rising on you, I can rub that rising just like that. Not mash it. Just rub it till it gets warm. Move my hand. Not riding, just got it out of the way.
He's serious.
I have to bring my old man down. He's got sometimes.
Hey, a lot of people does that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people's got that gear.
Yeah.
But tell him how you found out. He wants to know how you found out that you had that.
My mother told me about it.
Yeah.
And there's another thing I could do, but I won't tell you what it is.
Levitate.
I can scatter a mole. I'm scattering a big knot. I can stop a mole. I can scatter moles.
His uncle, my Uncle Will, if you'd have a wart on you,
I can move it away.
all he has to do is rub it. And I had a mole on, not a mole, a wart. And
Not a
all
mole.
he'd have-
I got moles all over me.
no, a wart.
Yeah. It's a
And
wart.
rub it, and that wart went away. And this is, I don't know if this is not witchery or whatever it is. It's just that I was raised with the older generation of my family, with Daddy and Mama. And, you know, all they do is he rubbed that wart that was on me and it went away.
If I could see, I'd take y'all boys over yonder and show y'all some Indian graves. You know how they bury Indian?
Rocks.
Got rock from top to the bottom. I've been over a lot of times. Somebody tried to rob them one time and took out some of the rock. They must have got scared and quit. They didn't take it out to the bottom. Our Indian buries what he got with him.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of those on our hill.
Huh?
There's a couple of them in my backyard. I'll never mess with them.
Don't mess with them. And see, my great-grandfather helped drive the Indians out of this country. This country belongs to the Indians.
Yeah.
And the United States is paying the Indian, full-blooded Indian, a salary to use this land.
Don't sign that on me, doing this.
Huh? I guess you read that.
Sign that on me doing this.
Ain't a lot of things I could do by the help of the Lord. Lord, do it to me.
You
That's
can
what I
take that
told you
part
about
out.
me of preaching. I couldn't preach. I
No.
put it off for 7 years. I couldn't preach. I said, Lord, I'm shamefaced. I was so
be
woman look at me,
embarrassing.
I'd nearly faint when I was young. And when going right up here in Rabbit Town, I can go and show you the spot. I got up there and testified, and God said, I want you to preach. I said, Lord, I can't do it. He said, let me do it through you. He said, all I want you to do is make the start. Let me do the talking. I said, here I am, Lord. I preached there, I don't know how, and I went to preaching. I preached all over this country.
Yeah, but then you went to the women.
Here come the devil along and trapped me up a time or two. Devil throw things in front of me. We're women. A good looking woman calls you do most anything. But it was my fault. A good looking woman come up to you and give you a different look in their eyes, you know it. Don't you? Don't you? I can tell you what kind of woman is when they look at me. Oh, boys, I could tell you more than Carter's got hoes. They'll just see a woman's good. I love women. I love them all. But the woman was the first that ever committed sin.
He blames it on the woman.
Yeah, the devil got the woman to eat the apple off in the garden.
But you didn't have to take a bite of it.
No, she didn't have to, but Adam
No, I
come
said
along.
you
and-
didn't.
Well, hush. Adam come along, and she got Adam to do it.
Well, you didn't have to take a bite.
I know I didn't have to. I didn't have to take a bite of them women, but I did. But I had that Adam nature. That's nature for you to have that. God had a wife. Jesus Christ is the Son of God. God had a wife. I don't know, I better not get started.
I think it's good.
Tell them what the rest you done.
Then what?
I need a cigarette, Daddy. You hid my cigarettes.
Maybe they'll give you one.
He done gave me one.
That's enough for you. Oh Lord, I can stand you and preach a half. I preach the best. I wished I had a set of loudspeakers.
What'd you do with my cigarettes?
I put them up
Where? Where they at?
in yonder in that drawer. Put my shirt in there too. That boy gal. Thank God he gave me a shirt.
Yeah.